I gave up and returned home. The front door was open. The house was silent. My parents were gone. In my room, the shadow man stood, faceless, pointing at my mirror. I looked. My reflection smiled. A cruel, unfamiliar grin. My reflection waved, mocking me. The shadow man faded away, but my reflection stayed, still smiling. My hand moved to the glass, not by my will. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. My reflection's eyes glowed darkly. It stepped out of the mirror, into my room, into my life. I was trapped behind the glass. The curse wasn't about being taken. It was about being replaced. So, when you look in the mirror, how do you know it's really you looking back? Be careful what you find in the Whispering Woods. I had to get out. I packed a bag and left the book behind, hoping the curse would stay. I ran through empty streets, shadows stretching everywhere. My own shadow seemed too long, too thin. I reached the edge of town. "You are now leaving Blackwood?" I ran, but the road looped back. No matter which way I went, I always returned to the Welcome to Blackwood sign. The town was a trap. The whispers surrounded me. "Shh! You can't leave." Panic set in as I realized the truth. Blackwood wouldn't let me go. The curse was inescapable. I was running in circles, caught in its web. The shadow man was everywhere, and I was running out of time. There was nowhere left to run. That night I couldn't sleep. Every shadow looked like a tall, thin man. Then came the scratching at my window. Scrape, scrape, scrape. I hid under the covers, heart pounding. A whisper hissed beside my bed. I noticed something in a family photo, a tall, faceless shadow behind us. It hadn't been there before. The shadow man was already here. I tried to tell myself it was just my imagination. But the evidence was everywhere. I was being watched. The curse was real, and it was closing in. I dug out the box. Dark wood, strange symbols, a rusty latch. Inside was only a small leather-bound book, colder than it should have been. I hid it in my room, not sure why. That night, I opened it. The first page warned, "Do not read these words aloud, or the shadow man will find you." I kept reading. The book told of a curse. Every 50 years, the shadow man comes for someone in Blackwood. The curse restarts when someone finds the book. There were drawings, a tall, faceless shadow behind a sleeping child who looked like me. My blood ran cold. I slammed the book shut, wanting to get rid of it. But the last page said, "Once opened, the curse begins again." And today was the day. 50 years since the last time. I realized I'd started something I couldn't stop. The shadow man was coming. For me. The town of Blackwood was small. Everyone knew your name and your secrets. I moved here last summer, but I still felt like an outsider. The woods around town were called the Whispering Woods by kids. They said the trees whispered warnings. "Stay out. Stay away from our secrets. My name is Leo and I'm 12. I thought the stories were just campfire tales. My house sat right at the edge of those woods. At night, the branches scratched my window scrape, scrape, scrape. One afternoon, my soccer ball rolled into the woods. I hesitated, but it was my only ball. I stepped over the crooked stones into the woods. The air turned heavy and cold. The whispers started shoo, shoo like voices, not wind. I found something half buried, a small old wooden box. I should have left it alone, but I didn't. That was my first mistake.